ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतो सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. In the series of lesser known stories of Mahabharata, we are starting the episode number 11. So far, we have been discussing about Adi Parva of Mahabharata. In Adi Parva, normally we talk about different dynasties. Now, in the 11th episode, we are coming closer to the birth of the known characters like Dhritarashtra, Pandu, Yudhishthir and all. But for doing so, we again need to go backwards and try to understand their nearest ancestors. So in this sequence, it is important for us to know about two queens. One's name was Sharmistha, another name was Devyani. Devyani was daughter of Daitya Guru Shukracharya and Sharmistha was daughter of Daityaraj Brachaspati. Now, we will narrate those stories, we will tell the background, we will talk about Koch and Devyani, and we will also talk about Devyani Sharmistha. We will talk about Jajati, King Jajati married to Devyani. Those stories I will tell. And King Jajati had two sons. They had 5 sons in total, but out of that 2 sons are very important. One's name was Jodu, from whom the Jodu Vangsha was created, and in Jodu Vangsha Lord Krishna took birth. And another son's name was Puru, from whom the Kaurav and Pandav's ancestors like Dushyanta, Shantanu, Bharat, they came after. So this is a very fascinating story, and it is important for us to know about these stories, to know the real background or the perspective of different heroes of Mahabharata. So let us start the episode. Again, I would request you to kindly continue with this series. This is a long story. It may not be possible to cover everything in one episode, particularly when I try to do the episode not more than 10 minutes, but I will continue this with the numbering which are sequential. And also, if you have missed the earlier videos, kindly go to the playlist, because in playlist all videos you can see at one go actually. So let's start with the series and be with me. Hare Krishna. Before going to the stories of Sharmistha and Devyani, it is important for us to start from the beginning. We know that Brahmaji, in the process of creation of the dynasty or creation of the human civilization, there were first very powerful 6 rishis came out of mind of Brahmaji. Those rishis were actually came from the mind, and therefore they are called Manas Putra, or son who came from the mind of Brahmaji. The 4 rishis out of them were the most knowledgeable. They were Marichi, Angira, Atri and Krotu. And the 2 of them were not only knowledgeable, but they were also very powerful. These 2 were Pulaho and Pulasto. Now, we will know about their stories, about their children, and how different dynasties came out of them in a few slides below. So Brahmaji, when he created the dynasty, his first son was Rishi Morichi. Rishi Morichi is also known as Marishi or Marichi, is one of the most powerful son of Brahma. He actually, Rishi Marichi, is considered as a light ray, and he is one of the stars in the Saptarshi. You know, the Saptarshi is the 7 stars which we see in the sky, and it is believed that they are actually 7 great sages. And Marichi was the one of the Saptarshi in the first Manvantara. The other members of this group, other rishis, were Atri, Angiras, Pulaha, Krotu, Pulastra and Vasishtha. According to scripture, Marichi Rishi was married to one lady, her name was Kala, and their child name was Kashyap. We will know more about Kashyap because Kashyap's sons are important in our Mahabharata. Then we will talk of Angira Rishi or Angirasha Rishi. So in the Angirasha Rishi is given the credit always because he was the creator of the major portion of Atharva Veda, which is the 4th Veda. Apart from this honor, Rishi Angiras is also mentioned in the previous 3 Vedas, that is Rig Ved, Yajur Ved and Sham Ved. It is believed that he married to Shurupa and he had 3 children, Uthaya, Samvarthana, and most important of them was Brihaspati. Brihaspati was the guru of the Devatas or demigods. Then next important son was Atri Rishi. Atri Rishi story we know because Rishi Atri is also one of the sages of the Saptarshi, one of the 7 great sages, and he came in the 7th Manvantara. First Manvantara Marichi came, and in the 7th Manvantara Atri Rishi became one of the Saptarshi. Rishi Atri was reborn from the fires of sacrifice carried out by Lord Brahma after the sons of Brahma were killed by a curse placed on them by Lord Shiva. Anushuva was his wife in both these incarnation, and we know the Anushuva story in different parts of Ramayana. Then we will go to Pulaha Rishi. Pulaha Rishi actually, because of a curse given by Lord Shiva, so every son was destroyed by that curse in the fire. Pulaha Rishi is widely believed that he was reborn as Vaishashasta Manvantara, but this time from the hair of Agni. Before Rishi Pulaha's birth, in the first Manvantara, one of the Daksha's other daughters, Shama, that is apology, was already married to Rishi Pulaha. Rishi Pulaha had a daughter, her name was Pivari, and they had 3 sons. The first son's name was Kardama Rishi and his wife Devahuti. Their children, Lord Krishna himself took birth as Kapil Dev, and they had other son Kanakapita and Urvavirvat. Rishi Krotu is portrayed in 2 distinct stages of his life. During the time known as Swayambhu Manvantara, Rishi Krotu was a Prajapati, and he was son of Lord Brahma. He was very dear son of Lord Brahma, and also he was son-in-law of Prajapati Daksha. The name Santati was given to his wife by him. He had actually 60,000 offspring throughout his lifetime, and these offsprings were called Balkhilla. Balkhillas were special
devotional service they did with Lord Vishnu. And during the incarnation in the Manvantara, seventh Manvantara, he did not have, he got this life by blessing of Shiva. Rishi Krotu, he reborn as Vivasharda Manvantara, reborn in the Vivashata Manvantara, and in this Manvantara, he did not have any family. However, what he did, he actually took care of the son of Agastya Muni, Idhava, because he had neither a family nor any children of his own. The Bhargavas, who originally was the family of Bhrigu Rishi, was also taken as his family in this Manvantara. Then we will come to read about Rishi Pulastya. Pulastya Rishi is considered to be the person who was described in the Vishnu Puran by Brahma himself, which he then passed to Parashar Muni, and Parashar Muni's son we know Srila Vyasdev, who actually the author of Mahabharata. And it is said that he was the father of the Vishravas. Vishravas was father of Kuber and Ravan, as we have made in Ramayana and other series actually. Pulastya Rishi was married to Kardam, and their daughter was Habirvu, who was one of the 9 daughters of Maharshi Agastya, and the Vishwasthara was their only child. Now we go to the next Rishi, which is Rishi Vasishtha. Rishi Vasishtha is considered one of the wisest person who have lived over the earth, and he was mentioned about him. He was the primary author of Rig Veda. In both Ramayana and Mahabharata, Brahmarshi Vasishtha plays a significant role in many events that took place. His name is also said to be connected to one of the 7 stars, which is a constellation that can be found in northern sky. The 7 wise men who became the 7 stars, Vasishtha Muni is one of them. And about the Vasishtha Muni, in our Srimad Bhagavatam also, complete chapter is given actually. His wife was also one of the very pious lady. Her name was Arundhati, and Arundhati is one of the star we see in the sky even today. Then we will come about Rishi Prachetashtha. In the Puranas, Rishi Prachetasha, one of the 10 ancient sages known as Prajapatis. So it is believed that they spent 10,000 years inside the large ocean very seriously meditating upon Vishnu and obtaining from him the benefit of being the parents of mankind. During this time, they were very deeply immersed in the meditation of Vishnu, and Rishi Prachetasha is believed to have married Kanchlu's daughter Manisha, and their son name was Daksha. We will read about Daksha in the subsequent slide. Rishi Bhrigu is credited to be the person who was also son of Brahma, and Rishi Bhrigu was the person who was the father of the predictive astrology. And the descendants of Bhrigu are generally known as Bhargava. So Rishi Manu and Rishi Bhrigu had made significant contribution because they created the Manusmriti. Now Rishi Bhrigu had married to Khyati, Daksha's daughter, and the couple had 2 sons. One son was Dhata, another son was Vidhata. About Narad Muni, we have made a complete series. The greatest devotee of Lord Krishna was actually the spiritual master of almost all great Mahajans like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, whatever name you take, Narad Muni was there. I will give the link, this link of Narad Muni in the description. You can see detail about Narad Muni in that series actually. Then it is important for us to talk about Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati, altogether she had 60 daughters. 10 daughters she got married to Dharma, 13 daughters married to sage Kashyapa, whom we discussed in few slides back. 27 daughters he married to Chandra, and 4 daughters married to Aristharmi. 2 daughters was married to the sons of the sage Virigu, and 2 daughters married to sage Angiras, and 2 daughters was married to Krishabha. Kashyap Rishi's wives were very prominent in Mahabharata and our Puranas. So they were Aditi, Kapila, Danu, Kadru, Muni, Krodha, Danayu, Singhika, Kala, Diti, Pradha, Vishwa and Vinata. Out of that, in the same playlist, if you go to the Nag dynasty, you will see I have talked about Kadru and Vinata, because Kadru's sons were the snakes and Vinata's son became the Garuda, and another son became the Arun, who became the charioteer of sun god. In addition to that, I have also mentioned in another series, in the same series, Aditi's sons were Aditya. They were actually the children of these children become the Devatas, and Diti's sons were Daitya. First son was Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyak, and then subsequently other Daityas took birth. And similarly, Danayu's sons were Danav. So Singhika's sons were also important. I am not going to those stories. Actually, Singhika's sons were why important? Because we know that they were very important part played in Mahabharata and Ramayana. And in the Daitya dynasty, finally Birochan took birth, then Pali Maharaj took birth. So that was those series, 12 Mahajan series I have stored very clearly there actually. So I will stop the video here and I will go to the main story of Sharmistha and Devyani after this. Hare Krishna. We will stop the episode here and we will start it again in the next episode, where we will discuss in detail the story of Kach Devyani, Sharmistha and Devyani's rivalry, how Devyani got married to Jajati, and how Sharmistha also got married to Jajati, and how their children took the dynasty forward. But as of now, the session we are stopping here, and we hope to meet you in the next episode. Hare Krishna.